Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're tackling a massive challenge that's on every leader's mind right now. How do you build an AI talent strategy that does more than just crank up productivity? How do you build one that's sustainable and, actually human?
So let's just start with the big question, right? This is the one that keeps executives up at night. Are you just out there trying to hire a bunch of AI experts, or are you fundamentally rethinking how your people and technology are going to work together?
And let's be honest, it's complicated for a good reason. This isn't some problem you can just toss over to the HR department or the IT team. Nope, this is a core strategic issue that cuts across the entire business. It demands this really delicate dance between efficiency and, well, people.
So let's call it what it is, the AI talent dilemma. How do you go after those undeniable productivity gains that AI promises without making your own workforce feel like they're being left in the dust? That is the tightrope every single leader is walking today.
Okay, so to navigate this tightrope, you need a map, and that's exactly where this framework comes in. It's a really simple but honestly powerful way to sort through your options and start making some very deliberate choices. Let's dive in. But before we even get to the framework, we got to talk about the foundation it's built on. It's called a skills taxonomy. Just think of it like a complete inventory of every single capability you have in your organization. I mean, it makes sense, right? You can't plan a road trip if you don't even know what car you're driving.
And here they are, the 4 Bs. These are your 4 big strategic levers. First, you can build. This is about growing your talent from the inside, reskilling, upskilling. It's the long game for sure, but it builds incredible loyalty. Second, you can buy. You go out and recruit experts to fill a gap right now, but you got to be careful. You don't want to hire for a role that a bot could be doing in 2 years. Third, you can borrow. This means bringing in contractors or partners for specific projects. It's great for speed and flexibility. And finally, you can deploy a bot. And let's be clear, this isn't about replacing people. It's about augmenting them, freeing them up from the boring stuff to do work that really matters. The secret sauce here isn't picking just one B. It's about mastering the mix of all 4.
Now, even though a truly great strategy juggles all 4 Bs, I want to zoom in on one in particular, the build category. This is really the human heart of your whole strategy. It's where you invest in your own people and create lasting value.
And this quote right here, this absolutely flips the script on the whole conversation. Look, if your team thinks AI is coming to replace them, you've already lost the battle. But if they see it as a tool that's going to augment them, make them smarter, faster, and better at what they do, well, that changes everything.
So how do you make that real? This is how. A clear, structured reskilling program is so much more than just training. It sends a massive signal to your employees. It says, hey, we're investing in you. You have a future here, and we're going to help you get there. That builds a kind of trust you just can't buy on the open market.
So, what kinds of skills are we even talking about?
This isn't about turning your entire marketing department into data scientists. It's about building up the uniquely human skills that machines can't replicate. Things like data literacy, so you can actually understand what the AI is telling you. Human-machine collaboration, so you can work with bots as teammates. And that high-level creative problem-solving needed to tackle the really messy, ambiguous challenges.
But look, deploying AI isn't all about skills and strategy, right? You absolutely have to build some guardrails for the technology itself. And this isn't some abstract philosophical debate. This is practical risk management. It's about making sure your AI is a partner that both your team and your customers can actually trust.
And this slide just lays out the core tension perfectly. You can build the most efficient AI system on the planet, but if your employees don't trust its answers or your customers are creeped out by how it uses their data, it's going to fail. Chasing productivity at the expense of trust is a fool's errand. Real, sustainable success needs both.
So how do you build that trust? Well, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens through a concrete ethical framework. This means making sure your AI is fair, that its decisions are transparent, that there's clear accountability for when things go wrong. These aren't just buzzwords, They are the essential operating principles for building AI that people will actually want to use.
All right, so let's pull all these threads together. What does all of this mean for the folks in the C-suite? Well, it means their job is fundamentally changing. It's becoming way more dynamic.
The key word here, without a doubt, is orchestrate. A modern leader isn't just a manager anymore. They are the conductor of a very complex orchestra. They know exactly when to bring in the bots section for a repetitive task, when to buy a star performer for a new venture, when to borrow a specialist, and most importantly, how to constantly build their core orchestra to be ready for the music of tomorrow.
It's a non-stop, strategic balancing act.
And this is the end game. This is the payoff when you get that orchestration right. Your build strategy makes your workforce resilient, your buy and borrow strategies make them adaptive, and your bot strategy, when it's built on a foundation of trust, creates the efficiency that frees up your people to do their absolute best work. This is the blueprint for a company that's truly ready for the future.
So I want to leave you with one final question to chew on. As you think about AI in your own world, ask yourself this. Is your strategy just making your workforce more efficient, or is it making it more human? Because the real magic, the truly brilliant strategies, they find a way to do both.